Hello, BookTube. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back for another Poetry Thursday. Now, I'm currently in the middle of reading Lyrical Ballads by William Wordsworth and Samuel Taylor Coleridge with Aaron Facer and the wonderful, wonderful Alice in the Giant Bookshelf. And thoroughly enjoying the process of reading through the 1798 version. I think all three of us have landed on that's the version we can keep up with. We're not doing the extras, which is fine because the 1798 version is what I have in my hands, and I'm enjoying getting a little bit out of it each day. Some of the poems are long, some of them are short, some of them have been good, a few of them have been great, and most of them have been okay. But it's not too late to join us because you can join now and still finish before the end of the month reading just a poem a day. And if nothing else, Rime of the Ancient Mariner is well worth the price of admission on that. But I had a request last week on my Poetry Thursday video from Michael at Fit to Be Read, asking where's more science fiction poems. I said I would deliver this week for him. So here I am doing just that for him. I did a little searching and found a very interesting poem. This is called Aniara, an epic science fiction poem. So this is the Harry Martinson poem. It is a winner of the Nobel Prize. It was written, I believe, in 1957. It is also a winner of the Nobel Prize. So I'm going to read a little bit of it because it's a long poem. I'm not going to read the whole thing by any means. But I'm going to read enough to hopefully whet your appetite. If you search for it, you could probably find it in full online and read the entire thing. That's something that I think I'm going to plan to do after reading the first couple parts. I'm very intrigued, and it also was made into an indie film in 2019, which I'm absolutely fascinated to watch. So, Michael, here's your space opera science fiction poetry. I hope you enjoy it. My first meeting with my Doris beams with light to make the light itself more fair. But let me simply say about my first and just as simple meeting with my Doris that now it forms a picture all can see every day before them in all the halls sluicing refugees to lift-off zones for urgent excursions to the tundra sphere. These present years when Earth, become unclean with toxic radiation, is accorded a time of calm, repose, and quarantine. She fills in cards, her 5 small nails aglint like dim lamps through the concourse twilight. She says, sign your name on this line here, where the light is pouring down from my blonde hair. She says, you are asked to keep this card at hand, and should some danger of the kind that stand listed here on page 208 threaten havoc to our time and state, then you come here and in the space assigned put down exactly what you have in mind. The part of Mars where you'd prefer to go, the tundra east or west, is checked off here. 1 jar of uncontaminated soil is owed by everyone, as stated there. At least 3 cubic feet, as sealed by me, will be recorded for each traveler's share. She looks at me with the disdain that beauty so easily conceives when looking round at folk on twisted paragraphic crutches, scrambling up and down the steps at liftoff ground. Off through the fire exit, numbers more and more she watches disappear, to new worlds bound. The monumental foolishness of living is thus made obvious to one and all who'd spent years hunting for one crevice, giving access for a gleam of hope to fall into that hall where precedes emigrants start up each time they hear a rocket siren squall. Gold under Aniara shuts, the siren gives the wail for field egression by the known routine, and then the gyro spinner sets in towing the gold under upward to the zenith light, where magnetrinos blocking field intensity soon signal level 0 and field release occurs. Like a giant pupa without weight, vibrationless, Aniara gyrates clear and free of interference out from Earth. A purely routine start, no misadventures, a normal gyromantic field release. Who could imagine that this very flight was doomed to be a spaceflight like to none, which was to sever us from Earth and from Sun and Earth, from Mars and Venus, and from Doris Vale. A swerve to clear the Hondo asteroid, herewith proclaimed discovered, took us off our course. We came too wide of Mars, slipped from its orbit, and, to avoid the field of Jupiter, we settled on the curve of Ice 12 within the Magdalena Field's external ring. But, meeting with great swarms of Leonids, we headed farther off to Yiko 9. In the field of Sari 16 we gave up attempts to turn around. As we held our curve, a ring of rocks echographically gave back a torus image, whose empty center we sought eagerly. We found it too, but at such dizzying angles that the passage to it led to breakdown of the Saba unit, which was hit hard by space stones and great swarms of space pebbles. When the ring had moved off and space had cleared, turning back was possible no longer. We lay with nose cone pointed at the lyre, nor could any change in course be thought of. We lay dead in space, but to our good fortune the gravitation works were still in service, and heating elements as well as lighting were not disabled. Of other apparatus some was damaged, and other parts less damaged could be mended. Our ill fate now is irretrievable, but the Mima will hold, we hope, until the end. That was how the solar system closed its vaulted gateway of purest crystal and severed spaceship Aniara's company from all the bonds and pledges of the sun. Thus given over to the shock-stiff void, we spread the callsign Aniara wide in glass-clear boundlessness, but picked up nothing. Through space vibrations faithfully bore round our proud Aniara's last communique on widening rings, and spheres and cupolas. It moved through empty spaces, thrown away, in anguish sent by us in Aniara. Our callsign faded till it failed. Aniara. So Michael and everyone else, I hope you enjoyed. I'll have linked down below the version I was reading from online. I hope you'll check it out. I'm excited to see where it goes. And while it's not on Michael's top 150 science fiction yet, I will add it as my 151st entry that I must read as part of my read all of his list recommendation. So thank you, BookTube. Have a great rest of your Poetry Thursday.